Hey there, explorers of science. Welcome to our deep dive into the world of biotechnology and its crucial role in developing bio-based products and processes. Today, we'll explore three key areas where biotechnology is making a significant impact: bioplastics, biofuels, and bioremediation. Get ready to have your mind blown wide open because we're about to explore the incredible world of bioplastics, biofuels, and bioremediation. Alright science fans, let's talk trash. Not the kind that belongs in the garbage, but the kind we use every single day: plastics. Now we all know plastic is everywhere, but did you know most of it comes from fossil fuels? Yep, those non-renewable resources we're trying to use less of. That's where bioplastics come in, like a breath of fresh air. Imagine a world where your plastic water bottle could decompose in your compost bin instead of hanging out in a landfill for centuries. Sounds pretty good, right? That's the promise of bioplastics. These incredible materials are derived from renewable biomass sources. Think cornstarch, sugarcane, or even agricultural waste. Talk about turning trash into treasure. But how do we go from a cornfield to a coffee cup? Well, it all starts with those tiny but mighty organisms, microbes. Scientists use biotechnology to harness the power of microbes, like bacteria and yeast, to ferment these plant-based materials. It's like brewing beer, but instead of a refreshing beverage, we get amazing bioplastics. Now, bioplastics aren't just good for the environment, they're also incredibly versatile. One of the most common types is PLA, or polylactic acid. You'll find PLA in all sorts of products, from disposable cups and plates to those cool 3D printing filaments. It's even used in medical implants because it's biocompatible, meaning it can break down safely in the body. Then we have PHA, or polyhydroxyalkanoats, another superstar in the bioplastic world. PHA is similar to PLA but has some unique properties. It's super strong and flexible, making it perfect for things like food packaging, shopping bags, and even diapers. Imagine a world with biodegradable diapers. That's a game changer, folks. The environmental benefits of bioplastics are huge. First off, they're made from renewable resources, unlike traditional plastics derived from fossil fuels. This means we're relying less on those finite resources and reducing our dependence on oil. Plus, bioplastics can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions during production compared to their conventional counterparts. And the best part? Biodegradability. Unlike traditional plastics that can linger in landfills for hundreds of years, bioplastics can break down naturally in a matter of months, sometimes even weeks, in the right conditions. Imagine a world without plastic pollution. That's the future bioplastics offer. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are bioplastics the silver bullet solution to our plastic problem? Well, it's not quite that simple. While bioplastics offer incredible potential, there are still some challenges we need to address. One challenge is cost. Right now, bioplastics can be a bit more expensive to produce than traditional plastics. But as technology advances and production scales up, the cost is expected to become more competitive. Plus, when we factor in the environmental costs of traditional plastics, bioplastics start to look like a real bargain. Another challenge is ensuring that bioplastics are properly disposed of. We need to improve our waste management systems to fully realize the benefits of bioplastics. Hold on to your lab coats, everyone, because we're about to dive into the exciting world of biofuels. You see, our dependence on fossil fuels has caused some serious problems: pollution, climate change, you name it. But what if I told you we could power our cars, trucks, and even airplanes with plants and algae? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, thanks to biotechnology, it's becoming a reality. Biofuels are renewable energy sources derived from biological materials. Think plants like corn, sugarcane, and soybeans, or even algae. That's right, those tiny green organisms floating in ponds could hold the key to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. Now, you might be wondering, how do we go from a field of corn to fuel in our tanks? Well, it all comes down to those microscopic marvels, microbes. Just like with bioplastics, scientists use biotechnology to harness the power of microbes to ferment plant and algal materials, breaking them down into usable fuels. One of the most common biofuels is ethanol. You might have even seen it at the gas station. It's often blended with gasoline. Ethanol is typically made from corn or sugarcane through a process called fermentation. Remember that beer analogy from our bioplastics discussion? Well, it's pretty similar. Yeast converts the sugars in the plants into ethanol, which can then be used as fuel. But wait, there's more. We also have biodiesel, another biofuel superstar. Biodiesel is made from vegetable oils or animal fats. Even used cooking oil can be turned into fuel. Through a process called transesterification, these oils are chemically modified to create biodiesel, which can be used in diesel engines. And if that wasn't cool enough, let's talk about algae biofuels. Algae are like the superheroes of the biofuel world. They grow incredibly fast, don't need farmland, and can even be cultivated in wastewater. Plus, they can produce both biodiesel and bioethanol. Talk about overachievers. Now let's talk about why biofuels are so important. First off, they're renewable. Unlike fossil fuels, which take millions of years to form, biofuels can be replenished relatively quickly. This means we're not depleting a finite resource and can continue to produce fuel sustainably. Second, biofuels can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions. When burned, they release carbon dioxide, but remember, they were originally derived from plants or algae that absorbed carbon dioxide during their growth. This means they have a much lower carbon footprint compared to fossil fuels. But of course, no scientific solution is perfect, and biofuels do have their challenges. One challenge is land use. Growing crops specifically for biofuel production can compete with food production and lead to deforestation if not managed sustainably. That's why it's crucial to explore alternative feedstocks like algae or use marginal lands unsuitable for food crops. Another challenge is the energy balance, the amount of energy it takes to produce biofuels compared to the energy they provide. But don't worry, scientists are working hard to address these challenges. Get ready to be amazed, science enthusiasts, because we're about to explore the incredible world of bioremediation, a process that uses nature's own cleanup crew to tackle pollution. You see, for years we've been polluting our planet. Oil spills, industrial waste, pesticides, you name it, we've dumped it. But what if I told you that tiny microorganisms could help us clean up our mess? Bioremediation is like something out of a science fiction movie. It utilizes microorganisms, those microscopic superheroes we've been talking about, to clean up contaminated environments, including soil and water. These little guys can break down pollutants like oil spills, heavy metals, and pesticides into less harmful substances, effectively cleaning up our environment. Think of it like this. Imagine a giant oil spill in the ocean. It's a devastating sight, right? Well, instead of using harsh chemicals that could harm marine life, we can deploy bioremediation techniques. Scientists can introduce microorganisms that naturally feed on oil, breaking it down into harmless byproducts. It's like a buffet for microbes, and the environment gets a much-needed cleaning. But it's not just oil spills. Bioremediation can tackle a wide range of pollutants. Heavy metals like lead and mercury can contaminate soil and water, posing serious health risks. But fear not, bioremediation is here. Certain types of bacteria and fungi can absorb and neutralize these heavy metals, effectively removing them from the environment. And let's not forget about pesticides. While they play a role in protecting crops, pesticides can also contaminate soil and water sources. Bioremediation offers a sustainable solution. Scientists can introduce microorganisms that can break down these pesticides into less harmful compounds, reducing their impact on the environment and human health. Now you might be wondering, how do these microbes do it? Well, it all comes down to their amazing metabolic capabilities. Microorganisms have evolved over millions of years to survive in various environments, including those contaminated with pollutants. They've developed unique enzymes and metabolic pathways that allow them to break down and transform these pollutants into less harmful substances. One way they do this is through biodegradation. Microorganisms can break down complex pollutants into simpler, less harmful molecules. For example, some bacteria can break down oil into carbon dioxide and water. Talk about a neat trick. Another mechanism is bioaccumulation. Certain microorganisms can absorb and concentrate pollutants within their cells, effectively removing them from the environment. It's like they're little pollution magnets. And then we have biotransformation, where microorganisms modify the chemical structure of pollutants, making them less toxic or easier to break down further. It's like they're giving these pollutants a makeover, making them more environmentally friendly. Bioremediation offers numerous advantages over traditional cleanup methods. First, it's a natural process, utilizing the power of nature to heal itself. Unlike harsh chemicals or invasive techniques, bioremediation is environmentally friendly and doesn't introduce additional pollutants into the ecosystem. Second, it's cost-effective. Bioremediation often involves stimulating the growth of naturally occurring microorganisms, making it a more affordable option compared to expensive engineering solutions. And finally, it's sustainable. Bioremediation relies on renewable resources. those amazing microorganisms. It's a long-term solution that doesn't create additional waste or pollution. Of course, like any scientific approach, bioremediation has its limitations. As we've seen, biotechnology is at the forefront of creating sustainable solutions for our planet. From bioplastics that decompose naturally, to biofuels that power our vehicles and bioremediation that cleans up our environment, the potential for positive impact is immense. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content on biotechnology and other scientific advancements.